What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we are here for an unscripted review for last night's episode of Smackdown, the go-home show to what is going to be the most unique PCMANIA WrestleMania we will ever see. I don't think in WWE's lifetime, my lifetime, your lifetime, anybody else's lifetime, we will ever see another WrestleMania like we will today, tonight, and tomorrow. Let's talk about last night. I don't care what situation you're in. It does not excuse lazy booking. Coming into this week, coming into last week's episode of Smackdown, the news came out. Roman Reigns told and informed WWE management that he is not going to participate in WrestleMania, PCMANIA, whatever you want to call it, because first off, he beat leukemia again, came back last year, and if anybody in this company, outside of probably Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler, is immune compromised, it would be Joe Anoa'i, aka Roman Reigns. Now, anybody going out there talking shit, giving Roman Reigns crap because he's out here saying, you know what, my health and my family's health is more important than anything else in this world, which it is. You need to get your head checked. Now, if we're under normal circumstances and you want to boo Roman Reigns all you want, that is fine. It is okay to boo Roman. But attacking Joe personally is unacceptable. You are the worst kind of people. Now, we wondered, how are they going to write Roman Reigns off of this? How is Roman Reigns going to be taken out of this and replaced with Braun Strowman? Didn't happen last week. Didn't think it was going to happen last week because the news and everything came out and everything happened the day before, so I don't think WWE was going to scramble to do anything about it last week. They were just going to go business as usual. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're continuing to advertise Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar versus the champion for the Universal Championship. Apparently, Triple H was on ESPN, I believe, Tuesday, and told them that they have a unique way of getting Roman Reigns written out of this show. Well, he was talking to somebody. What was that unique way going to be? I figured we were going to have some kind of injury angle done, or because it was advertised last week that we would see Goldberg, the champion, I can't say his name right now, but the champion and Roman come to this show and have a face-off. My opinion, I thought they would probably brawl, and Roman would get the worst of it, and he would be laid out, and WWE could use that as a way to say, hey, this guy is down, he's not going to be able to be in there. They would come up with something creative. What does WWE do? The only thing very, very, very uncreative. We're going to have Michael Cole go on Smackdown and announce breaking news, because there's no rhyme or reason. It is now Braun Strowman versus the champion. That was it. No this, no that, no exact reason why Roman was taken out of the match. I don't care what situation you're in, you need to give us a reason why. Why is Braun Strowman all of a sudden the number one contender? What has Braun Strowman done? A guy who last month at the Elimination Chamber, 3 days before all this hell broke loose, lost the Intercontinental Championship to Sami Zayn in a 3-on-1 beatdown. And this guy deserves a championship opportunity? Are you kidding me? This is just laziness. Laziness. And there's no excuse for it. No excuse whatsoever. So we got the word on that match. There's another match that WWE has not confirmed is going to be changed, even though, according to everybody who's around, that match is going to be changed, but we don't know how. And that is the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. the Usos versus the New Day versus Miz and Morrison in a triple threat ladder match. First and foremost, why the hell are we getting a ladder match during an empty arena closed set show with nobody in the crowd? Matches like this is why Blood and Guts has been taken away and is not going to go on until they get the all clear to have as many people in the arena as they feel. Blood and Guts should be left off. This should also be scaled back to just a triple threat match. But then we find out that Miz was sick. And Miz did not participate in this match. What was the point? What would be the point? Now, the show opened up. We're on Miz TV. We have 6 directors' chairs in the arena. Ladders on the outside. Greg Hamilton's doing the introduction to introduce the tag team champions, but he's interrupted by the Usos music. They come out. We see ladders all the performance, and the Usos get hyped and say, "People at home, rings out." As the New Day, they talk about how they couldn't wait to have Miz and Morrison bring them out here. They talk trash, and out comes New Day with Big E going, "People at home, don't you dare be sour," yada yada yada. Kofi disagrees with the Usos, saying they would be the ones that snatch the titles at WrestleMania this weekend. Big E says circumstances are unique this year, but it's still WrestleMania, and they plan on taking the titles. The two teams argue. Out comes Miz and Morrison. Miz is used to this kind of disrespect, but they deserve better. It talks some more. Miz says the two teams can argue all they want because the champs will just go and take a front row to what happens at WrestleMania. He says they can destroy each other, which will allow them to climb the ladders slowly and take those titles down and retain as we do. Miz and Morrison tell the Usos and the New Day to be jealous as they climb the ladders and say they are the best tag team of the 21st century. Usos and New Day storm the stage for a fight. Miz and Morrison meet them and brawl. The carnage getting big bumps everywhere. Miz and Morrison leave Kofi and the Usos with a ladder, or level him with the ladder. While standing tall as Morrison's music hits, Cole hypes the triple threat match for this weekend. Just another one of those bland segments. Does anyone really care about this match? I mean, a ladder match should be hype. It should be something we want to see, but it's in an empty arena. I don't know what WWE is going to do to try and make these matches worth it. I am hoping, and I know this is wishful thinking, but since you're still doing the pirate theme, I would hope they would at least take the Performance Center stage, or the Performance Center area, and make it look like they're battling in matches on top of a pirate ship. Make the outside look like planks that you would have where we would have the side railings look like the edges of a ship, and make it look like they're on a pirate ship. Have the big WrestleMania logo off to the side a little bit or somewhere. Just make this look better than you do on Raw and SmackDown. So to come, John Cena will address the Firefly Funhouse match challenge from Bray Wyatt, and we will also look back at the Hall of Fame famous Ric Flair's final match from WrestleMania 24, which, by the way, Michael Cole has no problem saying WrestleMania 24, but we can't say WrestleMania 36. Why? What makes each show different? It's WrestleMania 36, we go all the way to 30, and then it's WrestleMania. It's kind of fucking stupid. I know Vince McMahon doesn't like to have things feel old, everything. That's why he doesn't want to be on TV. It's kind of funny because he still uses guys like The Undertaker and Shitberg, who are old and past their prime and look like shit. Anyway, Naomi versus Lacey versus Tamina. This is a triple threat match. 3 of the 5 who will be in that fatal 5-way elimination match at PCMANIA. We will talk about that and have my predictions for PCMANIA after the review. So this was a nothing match. You did have Bayley and Sasha Banks, who was in a full blue sequence attire, on commentary. The entire match, Michael Cole is trying to goad these two to turn on each other and show that they aren't really as friends as we think as they're portraying to be. Of course, towards the end of the match, Sasha Banks, or towards the middle of the match, Sasha Banks goes over and takes out Lacey Evans, so it's down to Tamina and Naomi. Michael Cole continues to prod. Bailey still, she goes over, rings Naomi's neck on top of the top rope. Tamina hits a super kick to Naomi. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Bailey grabs her title from the announce table. Tamina stares her down in the ring. Bailey hits the ring and keeps talking. He thanks her for coming back. It's great to see you back. Handshake. He goes to leave. Tamina says, "Hey, champ." Super kick right to Bailey, knocking her out. Banks comes and tends to her. And then she's like, "Hey, we're pals, right?" And she's trying to give her a fist bump, but her hand is just all types of just shaking. She's like, "We're pals. Remember Team Bad? Remember that?" Banks gets put into Samoa dropped, and Tamina stands tall. This is a fatal 5-way. Fatal 5-way. Tamina is going to probably be eliminated first, but again, we'll talk about that later. Back from break, and we see Tucker talking to Mandy. We don't hear what she's saying, and then we see the glitch come up, and it says the truth will be heard in big letters. It's unrelated to Tucker, possibly, but we'll find out later. Possibly something to do with the recent glitches we've seen on Smackdown. Cole says Tucker will face Dolph Ziggler tonight. We get the replay of the WrestleMania 24 match between Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. It was a good match. It was an emotional match. It's also a sad match. Watching that match back, just how long Ric Flair held on to his in-ring career. Guy should have stopped wrestling 10 years before. When it was WrestleMania 14, the dude should have been calling it a career, but he continued to wrestle. Then, of course, after this match, they had that farewell the next night on Raw, which was fantastic. And then he left WWE, went to TNA, and wrestled a couple more times, which were even sadder. Cole shows us what happened with Elias, at the hands of Baron Corbin. Cole wants Elias to be able to compete against Corbin at WrestleMania. He then announces, with no rhyme or reason, that Braun Strowman will now face the Universal Champion with no mention of why. No explanation why this guy, who has been irrelevant, and he won the Intercontinental title in January, lost it at the Elimination. I'm sorry, he won it in February. My bad. Lost it at the Elimination Chamber, and hasn't been part of this WrestleMania build at all. His fate had this entire pandemic bullshit that we're going through right now, which is bullshit and it's being overblown and overstated, but we're not going to get into that. If none of this was happening right now, Braun Strowman would probably be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and that's all he would do. That's all there is to it. So, Braun Strowman's got to be, and because everything's going on, if Roman didn't back out, Braun Strowman wouldn't even be on this card. So he better be getting on his hands and knees and thanking Roman for backing out, because Braun Strowman was not going to be on this card at all. Tucker noticed him backstage. Custer mentioned seeing Mandy earlier, but he thinks she was just being nice as she mentioned Otis, and he thought that she was headed to Dolph's locker room. Otis gets a text, and he's really excited. He brushes off, but won't tell Tucker what's going on. Tucker asks about the match. He's like, "Wait a minute, my match is next." And you hear Otis say, 5 minutes tops, and he's gone. Go to break. Back for break. We have Tucker versus Dolph Ziggler. Both men out there by themselves. So Tucker is beating the bejesus out of Dolph Ziggler for the majority of this match. Ziggler has no chance, it seems like. But towards the end of the match, Ziggler gets tossed into the steel steps, knocking the top step loose. Tucker kicks that one away. Tucker grabs Ziggler and launches him into steel steps. Tucker brings Ziggler back into the ring, catches a kick, and nails a side slam for a 2. Tucker shows some frustration. Ziggler goes back out into the floor for a breather. Tucker goes for a slam on Ziggler and he steps, but he slides out. Ziggler digs at Tucker's eyes and nails a zigzag on the bottom of the steps, and the ref calls the match. How's that a DQ? Shouldn't Tucker throwing Dolph Ziggler into the steel steps be a DQ? That's just my thing on that. That's kind of stupid. Match is not a thing, it's afterwards. Ziggler is all smiles as he's so happy with what he just did. He grabs the other half of the steps to slam it onto Tucker when Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville come out. Mandy screaming, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Otis runs out and scares Dolph Ziggler away. Everyone stops. The glitch comes up, says the truth will be heard. We go to the big screen and shows a man, or it's not a person, sitting in a production control room. In front of a security camera, obviously a bunch of green screen things superimposed later. The hooded man turns around, but we can't see their face. And they told us the truth will be heard. We are paying attention. He turns back around. It's a play buttons. And we see video footage from the security cameras from Valentine's Day. Video shows Rose and Neville backstage talking about Otis and their date. Rose says Otis is big, but he's super sweet. Neville is all supportive. Rose walks out, leaving her phone, which, if you're anybody, you should realize, not a good idea. Never, ever leave your phone near anybody that you trust, because those are the times where you'll find, like, if somebody you supposedly trust will stab you in the back, screw you over. Neville picks up the phone. She sends the text to Otis. We switch to the video feed that we saw on Smackdown on Valentine's Day of him getting that text and replying, "Sounds good, Mandy," winky face, emoji face, whatever. It switches back. Neville is sitting there, not walking back and forth, waiting for this text reply. He gets it, delete, 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 with a smile on her face. We see Rose in the performance center now looking shocked at Neville. Neville pleads with her. We see footage of Ziggler and Neville backstage on Valentine's Day conspiring together against Rose and Otis State to get what they both want. The truth will be heard glitch goes off again. The man is gone. Neville begs Mandy to please understand. She didn't mean to hurt her. She would never do anything to hurt her. Rose just looks on at everyone, walks up the ramp to the back, tears coming from her eyes clearly. And Neville follows. Otis chases Ziggler and knocks him down at the bottom of the ramp. Ziggler keeps running to the back as Otis stares him down. He checks on Tucker, and we go to commercial break. This was obvious from the start. Who else was it going to be? Who else was going to screw Otis out of his date than Mandy Rose's best friend, Sonya Deville? This is a lesson to anybody who has friends. You never leave your phone out in the open for anybody to find. If you have, I don't care if it's your mother, if it's your brother, if it's your sister, if it's your father, if it's your grandmother, if it's your grandfather, grandbaby, sister, brother, whatever. Friends, best friends, cousins, uncles, whatever. And this is why this is also why people invented the security lock. You don't leave your phone out there unlocked, unsecured, anybody to find, because this will happen to you. So we had Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura coming up back to the break, and we see Mandy Rose walking backstage. She is visibly hurt, distraught, upset, and Neville is behind her trying to make her case, but Rose doesn't want to hear it. She walks on, and we see Sonya Deville, like, she's starting to cry as well because she knows she screwed up. Now, as we know, this of course means that the match at PCMANIA, which is going to be happening over the next 2 days, is going to take a major turn because of this revelation. Will it be, because originally all this crap didn't happen, all this like virus stuff didn't happen. The original match was supposed to be Mandy Rose and Otis versus Sonya Deville and Dolph Ziggler. That could still happen. We could still be going down that road, and they make that announcement tonight, or tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe they had to change things up. Maybe they would have had this revelation a couple weeks ago, leading up to this and making the match happen. The fact that they waited till the go-home show of PCMANIA to actually have this revelation makes no sense to me. This should have been done weeks ago. Then we had Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. What can I say about this match? These two, if Daniel Bryan beats Sami Zayn today or tomorrow, these two need to be your feud going into SummerSlam. If WWE takes a break, they have a bajillion hours of content they can run for Raw and SmackDown for the next 2 months if they have to. Next 3 months. Like WWE could go on a break for a year and just show like best ofs for the next 10 months, for the next 9 months. And they would be just fine because they have so much content they can do that. But when things get back to where they can be, if Daniel Bryan is your Intercontinental Champion, this is the feud I want to see. These guys went out there, and with the little time that they got, they went out there and gave you one hell of a match. Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. If Daniel Bryan is your Intercontinental Champion coming out of this weekend, this dude needs to be feuding with Nakamura, feuding with Cesaro, feuding with Sami Zayn. Not as a team, but as individuals. I would love to see this match when there's a crowd of 16,000. This is the stuff I want to see. Drew Gulak versus Nakamura. Drew Gulak versus Cesaro. Daniel Bryan versus Gulak. Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro. And Daniel Bryan versus Nakamura. I want to see this stuff. This is the stuff that brings people in and says, wow, this is good wrestling. This is what we want to see on our television. Match ends in disqualification, unfortunately, because Cesaro hits the ring as Daniel Bryan has the yes lock on. After the match is over, Gulak and Bryan are destroyed by Cesaro, Zayn, and Nakamura. Bryan is driven in the announce table as Gulak was launched into the barrier, thrown over the barrier. Then Cesaro puts him in, launches him into the steel ring steps. Zayn brings Bryan back to the ring, and Cesaro follows with Nakamura. Cesaro with the neutralizer on Bryan, Nakamura with the Kinshasa. While Cesaro holds him. Zayn talks trash to Bryan ahead of their match this weekend. Tells Cesaro they're not going to hold Bryan up as the referee keeps yelling at them. Zayn hits a big haluva kick. Zayn's music hits. They celebrate, and the referee checks on Bryan. This needs 20 minutes at least. 20 to 25 to 30 minutes. Don't get in the way of this match. Let Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn go out there in front of no fans, in front of nobody, and give us great fucking wrestling. Show us why these two are best at what they can do. Do not ruin this, Vince. Let these two go out there and give you what they can. And we have the final segment of the night, which was John Cena to address Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, in the Firefly Funhouse match. He thanks Cole for setting the stage. He brings up how WWE decided 1 month ago to continue their shows at the Performance Center with no fans. He says it's been a learning curve, but we've gotten through it together. He gives thanks to the fans and said it will lead us to the final moments before WrestleMania. But everyone is asking what's going to happen. Starting tomorrow night, a most epic broadcast will air, the most viewed WrestleMania in history. I highly doubt that. How does he know this? Because the first time ever, no one really knows what's going to happen. Bullshit. Bullshit. Because at least Vince knows, Triple H knows, Shawn Michaels knows, Bruce Pritchard knows, the cameraman knows, Michael Cole and whoever else was on commentary knows, the ring announcers know, anybody who was at those tapings knows what's going to happen. Now, if they did what they should do at any pre-taped show like this, just to get rid of spoilers, you want to kill the spoiler game? Get tape 2 or more finishes, 2 matches. Why? Because then nobody knows what's going to happen because we're going to go in this and it's like, Brock Lesnar beat Drew McIntyre or Brock Lesnar lost to Drew McIntyre. Who knows until we get there. If that is what they did, by all means, that's what you go with. Have 2 finishes at least to each match. Why? Because it breaks that curve. They did it with Johnny Gargano and the Velveteen Dream. They need to do it with everybody, with every match. If it's a taped show like this, everything should have 2 finishes, so spoilers are ineffective. Cena says he's been challenged to a Firefly Funhouse match, and I can't get a single soul on this earth to tell me what this is. I don't even think Bray Wyatt knows what this is, but that's exactly what the Fiend wants, because the Fiend loves uncertainty. Uncertainty leads to fear, and this is words to anybody out there getting in fear of this entire pandemic bullshit. Fear can lead to panic, and panic leads to collapse. No truer words were spoken out of John Cena, but in that little sentence right there. Uncertainty leads to fear, fear leads to panic, and panic leads to collapse. Guess what, people? Stop being panicking, stop being fearful, and stop with the uncertainty. Use your heads, and we'll get through this stuff. People sitting there and allowing this to happen, that is what it is. Now, the Fiend thrives on uncertainty and has dominated the WWE landscape off of fear and panic. Here we are on the eve of WrestleMania, staring into uncertainty, asking what happens next. I'm here tonight to tell us what happens next. I will not panic. I'm sure as hell not afraid. And I will squash Wyatt to finish what I started 6 years ago. I don't care where it's at, because Brian isn't even on the level below me. Anyone who knows him knows what he's capable of and realizes this poor man's Mr. Rogers doesn't stand a chance. He keeps on ripping the Fiend and says, the Universal Champion exposed the Fiend. The Fiend has weaknesses. And I'm going to expose him as an embarrassment. And then we hear Rambling Rabbit at ringside. And the other puppets come up and he's like, oh, when he's done with you, you're going to be playing with us forever. 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 They keep saying over and over until Rambling Rabbit says, he's here, and he hunkers down. Lights go down, and what happens from here on is fantastic. Lights go down. Lights go down. They pop back up. There's the Fiend in the balcony. And here's the difference between John Cena and Seth Rollins. Everything that happens from here on to the end of the show, John Cena shows what a top guy would do in this situation. If this was Seth Rollins, he would be shaking his boots. Hooked to shaking his boots. Be fearful for his life. John Cena staring at the Fiend. Daggers. Not afraid of this monster. When all of a sudden, let me in. As you see Bray Wyatt pop up right behind John Cena. John Cena twitches and just looks around. And the show goes off the air. Had that been Seth Rollins, the way they booked him against the Fiend, as soon as Bray Wyatt does that let me in part, Seth Rollins falls on his ass and is crying, is pissing himself. This shows you how WWE books a top guy compared to a top guy wannabe in Seth Rollins. This was a fantastic way to end this. The two best parts of this show were, or the three good parts. This segment, the exposure of Sonya Deville as the culprit, as we all should have known in the first place, and Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura until the ending of that match. That is that. But let's talk about PCMANIA, because let's get this over with. Now, 16 matches, 2 nights. No idea what match is going where, except for, I believe, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens is going to be on Saturday. But the first match that we're going to talk about is Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Otis's infatuation with Mandy Rose has been going on for at least 9 months to a year, maybe more. He finally, after weeks and weeks and weeks of just flirting with each other, being nice to each other, yada yada yada, he gets a date for Valentine's Day. Of all days, Valentine's Day. As we know, the dude is texted, I'm going to be a little late, so to Otis. He's like, okay, gives me a little bit more time, yada yada. He goes to the date, and Dolph Ziggler takes his date, screwing him out of his date with his peach, as he calls her, and breaking his heart. Which, if it would have been me, I probably would have went over there, made a massive scene or something, and beat the fuck out of him. But that's not. But that's me, and that's Otis. Then it's been taunting left and right, and it looked like Otis was finally going to get a hold of Dolph Ziggler at Elimination Chamber. Didn't go his way, and then everything leads to last week, Dolph Ziggler making a match at PCMANIA, match being accepted, and then this week the revelation that Sonya Deville, Dolph Ziggler were in on it the entire time. Now, Mandy Rose was supposed to be in Dolph Ziggler's corner for this match. Will Mandy Rose be in his corner? I don't think so. And it sucks because this storyline deserves how the fans getting behind Otis being there for that moment where he splashes Dolph Ziggler and takes his woman and wins the match. We're not going to get that moment. So Dolph Ziggler's losing this match, no doubt about it. This is the blow off to this entire feud. Dolph Ziggler can go back to being irrelevant or can go back onto his comedy tour when this entire pandemic crap is over. Otis for the win. Harrison and Asuka versus Bliss Cross Applesauce for the tag team titles. This is a rematch from Hell in a Cell. It's been forever since the tag team champions have actually defended the titles, TLC to be exact. And we haven't seen Kairi Sane in a while, and I was afraid that we were going to get something different, and it was going to probably be like Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, or Asuka versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, which Asuka could take both of those women on like that and win, no problem. I'm going to say Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross take these championships because Asuka and Kairi Sane have held them forever. About 6 or 7, like 5 or 6 months, they've held the titles and had defended them like 2 or 3 times. Time to take them off of them. Bliss Cross Applesauce for the win. Moving on. Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn with Drew McGulloch in his corner and Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura in Sami Zayn's corner. This one's a toss-up. I could see Daniel Bryan winning this. I could see Sami Zayn winning this. It's one of those big toss-ups that I don't have a clue who could win this one because if you think about it, if Sami Zayn wins, he can move on to his next opponent. Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak go back to the drawing board and actually gel a little bit more together, and they go on the path of the tag team championships. But I think Daniel Bryan's going to win. I honestly think Daniel Bryan's going to win. Cesaro, Nakamura, and Drew Gulak are going to get tossed early, coming down to Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan one-on-one. And Daniel Bryan is going to beat Sami Zayn, and hopefully will be a really good match. Edge versus Randy Orton. This one's a given. It's going to be Edge. Dude just signed a 3-year contract. There's no way he's losing this match. Edge did say that this match having no fans is going to make this match more personal to him, to both of them. So Randy Orton is going to lose this one. Edge for the win. Elias versus Baron Corbin. I don't give a shit. Elias for the win. Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Again, can someone tell me why this match is happening? No rhyme or reason. This is another one. Same thing with Braun Strowman. If this entire epidemic pandemic crap isn't going on, Bobby Lashley isn't even on this card. Bobby Lashley is only on this card squarely because WWE wants to feature Lana. That's it. That is the only reason he's on this card. If that doesn't piss off Bobby Lashley, then there's something wrong with this dude. You are going to miss the biggest show of the year because your on-screen wife was off doing a movie. And now you're in a match in an empty arena against Aleister Black for no rhyme or reason other than just to do it. Aleister Black wins, no reason that it should be any other way. Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford versus the mixed match tag team of Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Street Profits are winning this one. There's no rhyme or reason for Austin Theory to even be up here other than Paul Heyman loves himself some Austin Theory. I don't give a shit. This guy has just made his debut in NXT, 3 months ago? The last few times that WWE have brought talent up to the main roster from NXT in a very short window, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, they fail. So Austin Theory, Angel Garza are going to lose. Garza takes the pinfall. You don't want to have Austin Theory lose unless you do want to have Austin Theory lose. Street Profits win. Smackdown Tag Team Championship match. I don't know how this match is going to go. At this time, it's still the Usos versus New Day versus Miz and Morrison. Obviously, Miz is not going to be there unless they have some kind of workaround. It's supposed to be John Morrison versus an Uso versus Kofi Kingston or Big E. I don't know. This one, they did nothing with trying to say, oh, this match isn't going to happen. This is going to happen instead. All I know is this match better be happening on Sunday because they need to explain all tonight why this match is not going to happen the way they've been advertising it. Usos win in what shape or form because they like to tie it because WWE wants to have the Usos and New Day at that 7-7 tie. That's all I'm going to go with that one. Where we at? Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. This match has been building months. When Seth Rollins finally officially turned heel in, what was it, December? He attacked Kevin Owens to do it. Kevin Owens has been trying to get him back. Authors of Pain joined Seth Rollins. Buddy Murphy eventually joined Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens has had a mixed match of people with him. But this match, which apparently this match was supposed to have a stipulation before all broke loose. Because if you remember, Seth Rollins was like, anytime, any place, any stipulation, but they never used the stipulation portion. It has been talked about and rumored that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch will be going off TV, which everyone seems to be doing that after the WrestleMania. Everybody, like Seth Rollins is going to be going away, Becky Lynch is going to be going away, and they're going to go get married, yada yada. Kevin Owens is winning this match, fighting Seth Rollins off afterwards. AJ Styles versus The Undertaker in a boneyard match. Because WWE wants to make sure they're not being sensitive and calling it a graveyard match or a, what do you want to say? Graveyard match or a casket match or a buried alive match or something. AJ Styles needs to win this. There's no rhyme or reason for The Undertaker to win at WrestleMania anymore. There's no reason. And with this not being a proper WrestleMania, having The Undertaker lose is not going to hurt his mystique. His mystique died at WrestleMania 30. After that, he had a match with Bray Wyatt, which was subpar at best. His match with Roman Reigns was... Oh, wait a minute. 32. His match with Roman Reigns, that was 33. Yeah, 33. Who do you wrestle 32? All I know is The Undertaker, as Mystique, has died, and it's no longer a big deal. Now, of course, if this was, the streak was still alive, the streak was still active, and the streak wasn't dead, no, of course, AJ Styles needs to lose because that streak should never be screwed with. I saw a tweet, I think it was the other day, from Brian Gewirtz. Oh yeah, Shane McMahon at 32, that's right. Brian Gewirtz, who used to be the head writer of Monday Night Raw. He pretty much laid it out there as that The Undertaker, the tweet pretty much summarizes that The Undertaker streak should have never been broken. It should have never been messed with because you don't mess with shit like that. But unfortunately, they did. So, The Undertaker, after having a subpar match with Bray Wyatt, a shitty match with Shane McMahon, which should have never happened. Roman Reigns' match absolutely sucked, and a 2-minute squash 2 years ago against John Cena. There is no rhyme or reason to have this guy go out there and give you any type of match. It's done. It's over with. No more. Having The Undertaker, losing to The Undertaker should be like a rite of passage before WrestleMania 30. Losing to The Undertaker now does nothing because you didn't break the streak. You didn't break the streak, so who gives a shit? AJ Styles needs to beat The Undertaker, but it's probably going to be The Undertaker. Bayley versus Lacey Evans versus Naomi versus Sasha Banks versus Tamina, because Tamina's in this match simply because Carmella does not feel comfortable being in this entire pandemic type thing. And they said you don't have to be here if you don't want to. There's not going to hold it against you. So that is why Tamina's in this match. Of course, this was supposed to be a six-pack challenge elimination match, but the day after they announced this match live on television, Dana Brooke went into quarantine. This match is going to go like this. Tamina gets eliminated first. Lacey Evans gets eliminated second. Naomi eliminated third. Bayley and Sasha Banks fight it out. And Sasha Banks loses to Bayley. But, I don't know. I'm going to say Bayley wins because Sasha Banks pins Naomi. And then Bayley rolls up Sasha Banks immediately, wins the match, and goes from there. Or Sasha Banks. It's going to be one of those things where it comes down to three women. Sasha Banks and Bayley are the final two, but it's going to be the loser of the match is going to pin the third woman, and then the other one, whether it's Sasha Banks or Bayley, is going to roll the other one up 1, 2, 3, and that's that. Probably Sasha Banks. John Cena versus the Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse match. Bray Wyatt has to win this. If he loses to John Cena, then the Bray Wyatt Fiend character is absolutely 1000% dead. This is the last line for Bray Wyatt's character. If he loses to John Cena in his own match, then this thing's a failure. And WWE has done everything they could to kill the Fiend. Bray Wyatt for the win. Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. This is obvious. Shayna Baszler destroys her. I wouldn't say squash. You don't take somebody who has been holding the championship for a year, squashing them, especially somebody who's been at the height that Becky Lynch has. Becky Lynch loses in a hard-fought match, but she doesn't tap out. This should be one of those matches where Shayna puts the Carafluta clutch on, and Becky's fighting. She's fighting to get to the ropes. She gets and Shayna Baszler rolls over to the opposite side to keep her away. She's still fighting, and then she passes out. But what I would do is I would do the big huge just put a big I just put up the bird, so Shayna Baszler cinches it on even harder, and Becky passes out. That and there. Shayna Baszler obviously is going to be the new Raw Women's Champion for reasons I spoke earlier. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair NXT Women's Championship match. This, of course, match is happening because Charlotte Flair unjustifiably won the Women's Royal Rumble. They could have won a million other ways to get to there. And she, after Rhea Ripley challenged her, said, you know what, I'll take that match. So Charlotte Flair should lose this match. Charlotte Flair needs to lose this match. I mean, yes, you put Charlotte Flair back in NXT as the face of NXT. You would revitalize NXT in a way, I guess, but you would also stunt NXT. We all love Candice. We all love Bianca. We all love Casey Catanzaro. We love all these other women who are coming up. None of these women are on the level that WWE has Charlotte Flair. You are bringing Charlotte Flair down, but you're not elevating anybody up. Rhea Ripley needs to win this match. With Shayna Baszler beating Becky Lynch, there's your next feud. Shayna Baszler, Charlotte Flair, no doubt about it. That is your feud going into whatever pay-per-view WWE can do after this until you get to Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch 2 at SummerSlam, if we can get to SummerSlam. There's been talk about this match, the final two matches I'm going to talk about, not being the two main events of the shows, and I'm just going to tell you if that's not the case, Vince McMahon is a fucking idiot. There's a talk of Saturday possibly being main event by Becky and Shayna Baszler. No. Drew McIntyre should be main eventing Saturday. Braun Strowman and Shitberg and the Universal Champion need to be main eventing Sunday, or vice versa. The money match is Roman versus the Universal Champion. That is what they wanted, and it didn't get taken away until last minute. Braun Strowman is not winning this match. This match goes 2 minutes at the most. Spear, jackhammer, spear, 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 jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. That is it. I'm not a fan of it, but I don't see them giving Braun Strowman the championship. He gets put into a position that he should not be in. After his comments about independent wrestling a couple weeks ago, he does not deserve to be in. And it's not the match WWE and Vince McMahon wants. They're not going to give the Universal title to somebody just because somebody backed out because of health reasons. They want that match. It's going to happen at SummerSlam, if we get it at the SummerSlam and all this is done. And that is where that's going to happen. Braun Strowman is not winning the Universal Championship. It's going to stay on the part-timer, and that is all there is to it. On the other hand, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre. I feel bad for Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Drew McIntyre, and Edge. But not as much for Edge because Edge has had WrestleMania moments. Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Drew McIntyre, all looking to have their first ever WrestleMania moments. And it's going to be in front of no fans. Drew McIntyre needs to beat Brock Lesnar. And that's all I can say about that. Brock Lesnar loses to Drew McIntyre. And Brock Lesnar goes back home, if he can get back into Canada. And he doesn't come back for until the SummerSlam build. And if they want to, they can do Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, because what they could do is have Bobby Lashley come out when all this is said and done in a pissed off mood, continually to call Brock Lesnar out. He wants a match with Brock Lesnar. He doesn't care if there's a title on the line. I think I can beat Brock Lesnar. I want to beat Brock Lesnar. I want to prove to WWE that I am the biggest, the best, the biggest and baddest guy in this company. I want to face Brock Lesnar. Give me the damn match. And eventually, it brings out Paul Heyman, who says, I am the advocate, yada yada. You're not worth it to Brock Lesnar. And then of course Bobby Lashley destroys him with a spear, and it goes from there. Drew McIntyre needs to win this and move on from there. So again, Otis over Ziggler. Let's cross applesauce over the tag team champions. Daniel Bryan over Sami Zayn, Edge over Orton, Don't Really Care, Elias vs. Baron Corbin, Aleister Black over Bobby Lashley, Street Profits over the tag team of Austin Theory and Angel Garza, the Usos winning the SmackDown tag team titles, Owens over Rollins, AJ Styles over The Undertaker, Sasha Banks in the end for a fatal 5-way, Bray Wyatt, The Fiend over John Cena, Shayna over Becky, the Universal Champion retaining his championship, Drew McIntyre over Brock Lesnar, and Rhea Ripley over Charlotte Flair. That is a mouthful right there. The entire 2 days is going to be done in one video because I don't want to sit there and try and I'm just going to do one review, and that is that. This is going to be a unique experience. I don't even know what to say. But thank you all for watching this video. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The Franz Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The Club. Find me on Instagram at The Franz Club. And I will see you guys all tomorrow for unscripted episode number 114, I believe, or 115. And then, of course, we'll get to PCMANIA tomorrow night or Sunday morning. Or Monday morning. Until then, my name is Franz, and I'll see you guys later.